Hey guys, what do you think? Could there really be a city hidden beneath the ocean, once the greatest civilization on Earth? Atlantis! The legendary lost kingdom spoken of for thousands of years. Some believe it's only a myth, but others insist the clues to its existence are still scattered across our planet and deep within the sea. Part 1. The Rise of Atlantis. The first story of Atlantis was told by the Greek philosopher Plato. Nearly 2,500 years ago, he described a mighty empire located in the middle of the ocean. According to him, Atlantis was rich with gold, silver, and precious stones. Its people were advanced in knowledge, technology, and architecture. Plato painted a picture of a vast circular city surrounded by canals, palaces, and towering walls. He said this city wasn't just any ordinary place. It was a hub of knowledge and wisdom. The Atlanteans, as the story goes, were skilled astronomers, mathematicians, and engineers. They had harnessed the power of the seas and the winds, traveling to distant lands with ease. Their ships, some say, were powered by the very stars in the sky. The people of Atlantis were also renowned for their art, their music, and their love of beauty. Their temples and their gardens were said to be among the wonders of the ancient world. But above all else, the Atlanteans were known for their wisdom. They had a deep understanding of the mysteries of the universe. They kept secret, though, their knowledge of astrology, alchemy, and the secrets of life itself. As the centuries passed, the Atlanteans grew in power. They expanded their empire, some say to include many of the known lands. Their influence spread like wildfire, touching every corner of the known world. It was an era of peace and prosperity, of learning and enlightenment. Atlantis, it seemed, was truly a paradise on Earth. But with power often comes pride, and pride leads to downfall. The Atlanteans, as the story goes, grew greedy and arrogant. They wanted to conquer the world, and then disaster struck. The earth shook, the seas rose, and in a single night of storms and earthquakes, Atlantis vanished beneath the waves. A city that once ruled the seas was swallowed by the ocean forever. Plato's story of Atlantis has captivated the imagination of people around the world for centuries. For some, it's a cautionary tale of a civilization that fell due to its own hubris. For others, it's a testament to the power of nature and the fragility of human civilization. But regardless of how one interprets the story, there's no denying that Atlantis continues to fascinate us even today. Now, did Atlantis really exist? Was it a real place that sank beneath the ocean? Or was it just a figment of Plato's imagination? There's no historical evidence that Atlantis ever existed. No archaeological findings or written records from other civilizations mention a city that matched Plato's description. Some scholars argue that Plato created Atlantis as a literary device to teach his philosophy. He used the story of Atlantis to illustrate the dangers of greed and the importance of virtue and wisdom. Others believe that Plato was based on a real event, such as a tsunami or earthquake that caused widespread destruction along the coast of Greece or North Africa. What do you think? Do you believe Plato's story of Atlantis, or do you think it was just a myth? Let me know in the comments below. Part 2. The Fall of Atlantis. As the years went by, the Atlanteans continued to expand their empire. They made friends with other cultures and learned new ways of doing things. They shared their knowledge and their ideas, and for a time, it seemed like Atlantis would last forever. But the Atlanteans, as wise as they were, made a big mistake. They forgot about the most important thing of all, respecting the gods. The Atlanteans were so proud of their empire, so confident in their own power, that they started to believe they were better than everyone else. They thought they were gods. The Atlanteans stopped praying to the gods and turned their backs on the things that made them great. And then one day, the gods got angry. The ground shook and the oceans roared. Huge waves crashed over the land, and the people of Atlantis were scared. They had never seen anything like it before. The waves kept crashing over the city, and soon the whole place was under water. The people of Atlantis tried to hold on to their great walls, but the water was too strong. It washed away their homes, their temples, and their hopes. And before they knew it, the entire city was under the sea. Only the bravest souls tried to escape the rising waters, but most of the Atlanteans drowned. The once great city was gone forever. The water was so deep that not even the tallest mountains could be seen. And that's why, to this day, no one can find the lost city of Atlantis. It's hidden deep in the ocean, covered in water, sand, and legends. Some people say that Atlantis was just a story that Plato made up. They say he wanted to teach people a lesson about being proud and greedy. But other people say that Atlantis really existed. They believe that one day it will be found, and when it is, it will change the world forever. Part 3. Myth or Truth? So is the story of Atlantis just a fun story that Plato made up, or is there something more to it? Well, here's what we know. First off, Plato was a super smart guy who loved to think about deep stuff. He was a philosopher, which means he liked to ask questions about the world and try to figure things out. Plato was from Greece about 2,400 years ago, and he wrote down stories and ideas that people had been sharing for a long time. So the story of Atlantis might have come from him, but it probably had already been around for a while before he wrote it down. Now, Plato described Atlantis as this amazing city that was super powerful and rich. He said it was full of gold and silver and precious stones, and that the people were really smart and into the arts and philosophy. Sound kind of familiar? Well, there's a reason for that. You see, back in Plato's time, Greece was going through some big changes. The old ways of doing things were being challenged, and new ideas about government and society were popping up everywhere. Plato was interested in how societies work and what makes them great. So he created this story about Atlantis to show how a perfect society should be run. He used Atlantis as an example of what a good leader should be like and what values a society should be based on. In the story, the Atlanteans start out as this great and wise civilization, but then they get greedy and forget about the important things in life. As a result, their society falls apart and they lose everything. Plato was trying to teach his readers that if they wanted to create a better world, they needed to learn from the mistakes of the Atlanteans. But here's where things get really interesting. Some people believe that Plato's story of Atlantis is actually based on a real place that existed long before his time. They say that Atlantis was a real city, but because of earthquakes and floods, it sank beneath the ocean. We don't know if that's true or not, but there's something that might give us a clue. In recent years, scientists have found some really cool stuff in the ocean that looks a lot like Plato described Atlantis. They've found old ruins and artifacts that tell us there were people living in the ocean long before we invented boats. Maybe they were the Atlanteans. Now, here's what we know for sure. Even if Atlantis was a real place, it probably didn't look exactly like Plato described. Over the years, people have added their own ideas to the story and changed it in different ways. For example, some people think that Atlantis was near the Strait of Gibraltar, while others think it was in the Atlantic Ocean. Still, others believe that Atlantis was actually in the Arctic. So, what's the truth about Atlantis? Well, the truth is, we just don't know. There's no way to prove that Atlantis was real, but there's also no way to prove that it wasn't. Maybe one day we'll find some new evidence that helps us solve the mystery. But until then, the story of Atlantis will continue to capture our imaginations and make us wonder what could be hiding in the depths of the ocean. The truth about Atlantis remains one of history's greatest mysteries. But one thing is certain. If Atlantis is ever discovered, it could change everything we know about our past, and perhaps reveal secrets that could shape our future. Do you believe Atlantis really existed? Or was it just a legend? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more exciting content. And if you'd like to support our channel further, consider becoming a member. Your support helps us create more videos like this one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see ya in the next one. Hey guys! Hope you're really enjoying this channel so far, and I hope you subscribed already if you didn't do it, and if you did, watch this video right there. I think that'll be perfect for you.